Okay, so as you can see here on the screen, we got the Frosted Flakes up there, right? Which is another favorite. A lot of our people love those Frosted Flakes, man. And it is good. When I used to eat it, it's nice and sweet. It's a little quick pick me up when you don't feel like eating anything heavy, to start your day. You know what I'm saying? To get you some nice cold milk straight out of the freezer or whatever. That's not frozen, but have the little frost bits in there and make it real good. And if you want to add some chocolate syrup to it, it makes it even better, right? So, it's good. It's a quick pick me up. It tastes good, right? But a lot of this food is bad for you, man. It's detrimental to your health, man. Right? So a lot of our people, they still feed their kids this, man. And probably still, even in the truth, a lot of our people still give their kids this cereal, man. Right? And it's actually coated with the pork. The sugar that's on these things it's derived from the pork, man. Right? Which is the glycerin, or create the crystallization of the sugar that's on this, man. Right? So, if you go to the back, like I was saying, a lot of this stuff is bad for you, man. And as it says right here, in which they really just recently started putting on these things, right? It says contain a bioengineered food ingredient, right? Like, what the hell is that, man? Right? A bioengineered food ingredient, right? So what is that? They're not even being precise with this right here. You don't even know what that is. Okay, but of course, as mentioned before, milled corn. Okay, what is corn? GMO. A majority of the corn now is GMO. Even the products that's made from the corn is GMO, right? The sugar here, right? Of course, it's the cheap sugar. It's not the authentic sugar. It's not the brown sugar or the cane sugar or whatever, or agave plant sugar, right? That's the cheap sugar, man, right? So they got this right here, contains a bioengineered food ingredient, man. This stuff is bad for you, right? All GMO, man. Corn flakes, okay? Even though it says frosted flakes right here, but this is really made from so-called corn flakes, okay? Which is GMO, man. All right, this stuff is bad for you, right? Even this right here, right now, this used to be the Aunt Jemima's so-called syrup, right? But of course, this is not authentic syrup, But yeah, they call it the Pearl Milling Company now, right? I guess that's the company that always owned it. You know what I'm saying? But they threw the black face up there, which is the so-called Aunt Jemima, to get our people to buy it, right? But this stuff was poison for us, man, right? These are the things that our people use on a daily basis, even the people in the truth, right? They be having those pancakes up there when they're eating their breakfast or whatever, or when they're celebrating the high holy days. They got their pan of pancakes up there, and then of course they got their syrup here, right? And this stuff is bad for you, man. If you go to the back, right, what it says here, corn syrup, okay, GMO corn syrup, right? High fructose corn syrup, okay? Cellulose, all right? Look at this. Hexametaphosphate. Okay, we're going to get into that big word too. They really actually just started putting that word in the back on the ingredients, man, with certain things, right? I never really seen this word here like 2 or 3 years ago in back forth, right? But now they putting this word on here. Hexametaphosphate, man. That stuff is detrimental to you, right? We're going to get into that right now, as a matter of fact. Okay? That's what that is, man. A lot of this stuff right here, our people really need to do the due diligence stuff, man. Right? But, a lot of our people just don't care. So this, like I said, this is like my 5th video, probably even 6th, concerning the dietary law. And not only the video that's concerning the dietary law itself, but the mentioning of it in other videos that I've done, right? So we're going to get into the hexametaphosphate. All right, let's see what this is right here. Right, and you can see it right there in the images, right, that I just clicked from. Like, what is this stuff, man? Like, it's created in a lab somewhere. You know what I'm saying? What is this? It's not even, you don't even see a plant or anything up there. It's like a powder that they created this stuff with, man, right? So this is what they're putting in your foods, man. Okay. Sodium hexametaphosphate, right? And that's definitely a word that you got to practice too. So, you know, don't get up there and try to say that word and, try to knock it out with the first blow, right? All right. So you got right here. You can read up on it right here. So we're going to get down to what we really came here for, right? And then it says, what is sodium hexametaphosphate used for? And it says it's a clean soak. They got non-toxic here, right? Yeah, sure. It's a non-toxic phosphate that is widely used in the food industry and the chemical industry. So why would you want to eat something that have a chemical that they use in a chemical industry, man? It can be used as a gelatin reagent for metals, for metal ions and adhesive, okay, to stick things together, all right, and a swelling reagent, okay. So the swelling reagent, that's going to cause the inflammation in your body, man, right? You just put one and one together, of course, the inflammation is a swelling, okay. And then you got the side effects. Symptoms may include vomiting, lethargy, lethargy, diarrhea, blood chemistry effects, okay, heart disturbances, all right, which is going on now amongst our people, but it ain't really from this. This could be like an assistant to what's causing the heart complications within our people. But of course, that's like a whole different subject, right? But this is adding to it, man, because a lot of our people ain't doing the due diligence and see how this stuff is detrimental to your health, man. So when they eating these type of things on a daily basis, guess what? It's just making your health worse and worse, right? And then your doctors is not informing you, okay, right? You have your so-called church pastors. They're not informing you. They're not doing their due diligence in this. They're not telling you to keep the Most High's dietary law. Search for certain ingredients that could be detrimental to your health, right? Your so-called leaders, and even, unfortunately, your elders in the truth, man. A lot of these guys aren't doing their due diligence neither, right? So they don't know what to tell you, what type of things to avoid or whatever, right? You don't even see much videos about this on YouTube concerning this right here, right? So this is the reason why I'm doing this, man, right? Heart disturbances and central nervous system's effect. Wow. Affects your nervous system, man. The toxicity of phosphates is because of their ability to sequester calcium. Sequester calcium, right? So all of this stuff right here, man, better, even though I probably had it right the first time, right? But anyway, so that's what that is, man, the health effects, right? Short-term side effects of sodium hexametaphosphate includes headaches, all right? So when you eating this stuff right here and you getting that headache or that migraine, okay, this is where it's coming from, man. That certain ingredient that's in your so-called syrup, right? Nausea, vomiting, dizziness, and gastrointestinal irritation. Okay, so when you feel all bloated all the time, your stomach it's like puffed out. You know what I'm saying? Like you ate a whole plate of food or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you didn't even eat much. You just had like 1 or 2 pancakes with this syrup on it. But, it gives you gas problems. Gastrointestinal irritation, man. It irritates the intestines in your stomach, man, and it makes them inflame. Then they become big, and then now you just look like a bloated up balloon, right? So this is what's causing this, man, this hexametaphosphate, okay? It is also possible some may have an allergic reaction to phosphate, most commonly resulting in mild chest pain and general respiratory wow, son, look at this right here, man, right? All of this stuff right here that you're going through just from having this syrup, man. And then, of course, if you got that other thing in which making it worse, you going through all of this, man. Now, this right here, this was written in December the 28th, 2015, so it have some kind of validity to it because it haven't been changed within the last 7 to 8 years, right? But a lot of our people are eating this, man. Okay? Then it says here, is hexametaphosphate natural? Like, is it a natural element of nature, right? And then what it says, no, which is engraved, right? It is not natural, as it is made, meaning created, from chemical synthesis. Wow. So it's not even a natural ingredient, man. But you inserting this thing in your body, man. You intaking this thing in your body on a daily basis. Some people, they eat it daily. Okay. Right? Even when you go into your so-called fast food restaurants, right, in the morning before you go to work, right? Or if you just go in there just because, right? You get the breakfast platter, okay? You get those pancakes, those GMO eggs, right? That modified cornstarch pancakes or whatever. And then they give you this right here with the hexametaphosphate in it, the syrup, right? You intaking all of this stuff, man. Okay? All of this stuff. Right? And it doesn't matter which one you go to. It could be McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. They all have a breakfast menu, right? And you getting all of this stuff, man, right? And I can't even remember the last time I've been to either one of those things, man. I don't even have a desire to eat out anymore, man. Especially what's going on around now, right? I truly don't understand who will want to go out and eat with this thing going around now, right? And it's getting worse and worse. It ain't going to get better. You know what I'm saying? You know, as I heard on the news, I think it's like 30 or 40 billion people, man, infected with this thing, man. And not only that, you know, they already taking the so-called suggestion. So that's just making it worse. That's what's actually bringing it about, man. But a lot of people also don't do their due diligence on that, and they don't connect the dots. So they're not aware. You know, the powers that shouldn't be is banking off the people's ignorance because they know that they don't do their research, man. Right? So I don't even understand what would make someone actually want to go to a restaurant or any kind of fast food place to eat, man. Knowing that most of these people that's working up in these places is already taking the suggestion, man. Right? And they're the ones that's preparing your foods, man. Right? So, you know, that's one of the reasons why I don't go out. And also because it's just not biblically clean, man. If you're serious about keeping the biblical diet, then, you know, going out to eat should be the last thing in your mind, man, right? Whatever you want to eat, man, you can just prepare it at home. You know how it's prepared, it's cleaned, right? It's seasoned to your perfection, to how you want it, and it's safe, man, right? A lot of these places that make these foods, man, they don't make it, you know, for the health. They make it because they want to keep the customers coming back. They want to make it taste good, whatever they got to use, even if it's like cheap ingredients, man, created ingredients. Okay, that's created in a lab somewhere. It's not even natural. It's not even an element of earth, man. Right? But they're putting that in your food that they're making for you because they want to keep you coming back. Okay. So, you know, there's many reasons why people shouldn't go out to eat, man. But unfortunately, a lot of people still do. Even in the faith, a lot of people are still going to these restaurants and buying food and all that stuff. I cut that out years ago, man. Right? But, you know, just like I said, you know, this is the reason why I'm doing this right here. So people may take heed to this and, you know, a seed might be sown, right? Hence, seed sower. And they take it from there, man. If they're sincere, then the Most High would give them the increase and then they can start their journey, right? On, you know, basically saying no to eating out. Right, so this is another thing here. You got the Fruity Pebbles here, right? The syrup, the so-called syrup, all right? You know, a lot of these kids, they love this stuff. It tastes good. It tastes fruity. It's sweet. You know, of course, the color is cool. They love the red color. It's not like your ordinary so-called syrup, right? But once again, you know, this stuff is bad for you, man. You know, look at this right here. high fructose GMO corn syrup, and then you have more GMO corn syrup, okay? And then of course right here we just got from reading this, sodium hexametaphosphate, all right? And then you have the red 40, okay? And then also you have pork, all right? Monoindiglycerides, man, okay? Red 40 there, man, right? Which is derived from the cochineal bug, the unclean bug that they use to make dyes with, man, right? And just like I said before, I brung that out on my previous dietary law videos. You know, you could go check that out, man. But, you know, just to give you a little refresher, we're going to get into what that is there. Right? Red 40, man. And a lot of parents give their kids there. Right? Red 40 side effects, man. Okay? As it says right here. Additionally, both adults and children have reported upset stomach, migraines, okay, headaches, jitteriness, nervousness, and inability to concentrate after a high intake of red dye 40, right? Wow, man. And then it says here, a report that says artificial food dyes pose a rainbow, all kinds of lists, man, right? Which is in quotation marks, a rainbow of risks, including everything from allergies to what? Cancer. Wow, man. And a lot of our people are taking this thing on a daily basis, man, right? What does red 40 does to your body or do to your body? Right? Look at this right here, man. Red 40 dye is a synthetic food dye made from petroleum, right? Research has shown that it is linked to certain ADHD symptoms, okay, in which today's, you know, uneducated system, instead of educated system, right, they like to diagnose mainly our children with, man, right? And the reason why they do this is because they're not used to children being children, man. A child is going to naturally be active, right? You can't expect a 4 to 7 year old just to sit down in their seat quietly and still for like 3 and 4 hours, man, a day, right? Kids going to naturally want to get up and do things, man. It's in a child's nature, you know what I'm saying? But because they're not used to that, they're not familiar with that, you know what I'm saying? Then they're going to be so quick to diagnose a kid with ADHD, man. And that's crazy. Just from a kid being a kid, you know what I'm saying? But this right here doesn't help, you know, when you're feeding your kids these type of diets that's made from these synthetic blends that's created in a lab somewhere in Japan or Cambodia or Taiwan somewhere or South Korea, right? And then it's shipped to the United States. Then, you know, this is what your kids is dealing with, man. Not only your kids, but you too, right? That's the reason why you feel your so-called headaches, right? Your migraines, as it says right here, jitteriness, nervousness, right? It attacks the nerve system, okay? So in continuation, it says such as hyperactivity and may also cause other neurobehavioral effects in children. Wow, man. So now it's not only messing with their nerves and giving them jitteriness, you know, in which they're diagnosed with ADHD, but it's also affecting their psychological thinking, man, right? Then it says people can check for red dye 40 on food labels if they wish to limit their intake, right? So if this stuff right here is so detrimental to your body, man, right? And they're actually telling you, and this is written in February this year, 2022. So they're telling you, yo, if you don't want to intake this right here, just look at the ingredients that's on the back of certain foods, so-called foods, and, you know, you can make that decision yourself. But they're telling you all of these things that the red dye 40 does, man, which is derived from the cochineal bug, which is an unclean, biblically unclean bug, man, right? It's a creepy crawler, you know? So all of this stuff is bad for you, man, right? And where is it? It's right here in your so-called syrup, man, right? Your fruity pebble syrup. Okay? That's crazy, man. And a lot of our people are consuming this on a daily basis, man, right? And then you have, of course, your mono and diglycerides, right? So not only, it's like you have triple unclean things, man, in this thing right here. You know, if you was in Islam, this would be haram, all right? It'd be unclean, man, right? But of course, you know, we don't follow that false religion, you know what I'm saying? They worship a rock. So, you know, this is biblically unclean, man. You know, this is, you know, basically that's what it is. You know, it's non-kosher, all right? And then you have your fruity pebbles here, your cocoa pebbles, you know, which is another favorite. You know, this is, and I can admit, man, this used to be my favorite back in the day, especially, you know, the cocoa pebbles. I mean, I used to be killing this back in the day, right? But, you know, of course, that was when you didn't know no better. You didn't have no wisdom, no knowledge of what things were. You know, you only cared for if certain tasted good or you know, to fill your belly. You know what I'm saying? This is what we was concentrated on. We didn't care about the health, you know, especially if you're young and naive. You don't care, right? But when you look at the ingredients, okay, what's that? Rice, GMO, sugar, GMO, okay, and unclean, made from pork, right? Canola and or soybean oil, more GMO, all right? Red 40, we just got reading about that, right? Yellow 6, which is derived from red 40, and yellow 5, blue 1, turmeric, okay? And then it says right here, BHT and BHA added to preserve freshness, right? And, you know, also in my previous dietary law videos, I'm speaking about BHT, right? I haven't really came across BHA, but I've spoken on BHT and how that's detrimental to your body, right? So all of this stuff right here is in the cereals, man. All of this stuff, all of that stuff is created in a lab and it's bad for you, man, right? And this is your cocoa pebbles, right? Once again, it's the same thing just like the fruity pebbles, right? Canola oil, soybean oil, right? BHT up in there, right? So all of that stuff, man, is a matter of fact. Let me see if I can find something real quick on BHT. Now look at this right here, man. This is crazy, right? All of this stuff is in the foods that you're giving your children, man. Not only your children, but yourself too, right? This is the reason why you up in that hospital, man, nowadays, right? I just drove past the emergency room, man. Now I'm in a small town, right? And the emergency room is full. Yo, how do you have a full emergency room in a small town, man? That's crazy, right? The lot is full. Now, the lot have at least probably, I don't know, just roughly counting, probably like 80 to 100 lots, man, right? And it's full. Crazy, right? In a small town, right? But this is the reason why. It says it right here. Long-term exposure to high doses of BHT is toxic in mice and rats, causing what? Liver, thyroid, and kidney problems, and affecting lung function and blood coagulation, right? This is what most people is going through right now, man, right? They having the blood clots, right? It's traveling all throughout their body, right? Causing strokes, causing heart attacks, right? And then they're told by their doctors that they can't provide them with blood thinners because it might make things worse, right? All of this craziness going on. And then, you know, the foods that you consuming on a daily basis or giving your children, it's not helping them, man, right? That's why a lot of children is up in the hospital for blood clots, right? You know, your kid is like 7 and 8 years old up in the hospital for blood clots and heart problems. Like, really? Come on, man, right? And the foods that they're consuming is contributing to it, man, right? Is BHT harmful harmful, salakia, to your health. Then, of course, they're going to give you a little deception here, right? It says BHT is safe in the amounts found in processed foods, okay? So if it's found safe in processed foods, then why are processed foods bad for you? A lot of those processed foods is mechanically made and separated and processed over and over again, man. And a lot of them things have cancer-causing ingredients in them, right? And not only that, they have biblically clean ingredients in them as well, right? Which is haram in Israel, in Islam, and non-kosher according to our faith, right? But they want to give you some okie doke that says it's a safe amount in processed foods, right? And then it says here, but there isn't enough information to know if it is safe to take BHT in medicinal doses, which are typically higher. There also isn't enough information to know whether BHT can be safely used on the skin, right? So right here, all right, so let's see what it says here, just for GP, right? So it says here, should I avoid the BHT? As an endocrine disruptor, it can impact testosterone levels as well as affect sperm quality. Wow. Come on, yo. All of this stuff is in your food, man, right? It impacts testosterone, man. So if you're giving your young son this right here, right, even if you're grown, right, all boys have testosterone, at least we supposed to, right? But this right here impacts your testosterone. Even if you give this to a little girl, what you think that's going to happen to that little girl? Okay, so this is the reason why you have certain things going on within this society, man, right? You have certain preferences being switched around, right? It's not because they naturally want to do this in their mind. It's because it's being enhanced. Okay, it's being infused in them through the foods, man. Okay, right? It can impact testosterone levels as well as affect sperm quality, meaning that you're not going to be able to reproduce, man, right? If you intake enough of this stuff right here on a daily basis, you're not going to be able to have any children, right? Another reason why BHT isn't good for you is that it might cause enlargements of the liver, okay? So that's the reason why you have all of these people walking around with these bellies, man, it's bulging out, right? Because they have enlarged livers, man. It's not because they're fat, you know what I'm saying? It's because they have liver problems, man, or they developing liver problems because of this ingredient that's put in the foods, man. And where's BHT, right? I've done this, like I said, it's in my previous videos concerning the dietary laws. It's in your candies, okay? It's in your Hershey's bars. It's in your M&M candies, right? All of your chocolate bars, man, right? It's in your Mounds, okay? Right? And I used to buy Mounds, because it have the coconut in there, it have the almonds in there, until I did my research and come to find that the coconut that they're using is GMO, and then the almonds they're using in it is GMO, and then of course you have the BHT with this in the chocolate, all right, as we reading on right now. So that stuff is bad. A lot of people think, oh well, because it got the coconut in there, it have the almonds, this is straight, this is healthy. And it's really not, man, because that stuff is GMO and it have poison in it, man, right? That's the reason why it says this here. It might cause enlargements in the liver, inflammatory effects in the lungs, renal dysfunction, and a decrease in potassium levels, meaning that you're going to be lazy, right? You're not going to have that energetic spunk as you should have, man, right? So this is what this is, man, BHT, right? All right, let me search for, I think it's TBHQ. TBHQ, right? Even though I already covered this like I said, right? Now this is another ingredient that they put in the foods, man, like I just showed you before with the pictures of the food that I took, right? It says, according to the National Library of Medicine, the NLM, cases of vision disturbances, all right, going blind, okay, or vision blurry, okay, have been reported when humans consume TBHQ, okay. Now, of course, if you put one and one together, the human, that's like a noun and an adjective together, right? The hue is the color, and the man is who we are. We're the original humans, right? We're the people of color. Okay, so that's why the scripture says mankind was created in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, I believe it's verses 26 to 29. Okay, and then you have the people of choice who he created after that, which is in Genesis 2, when he created Adam and Eve, okay, in which he made from the dust, which is the dirt of the ground, the soil of the ground. The soil of the ground have color. Okay, so that's the reason why we're the humans, all right? So, you have mankind, which was the people of existence, and then you had the people of the chosen, okay? As stated in the book of Jubilees, we, the people of the chosen, the people who were in existence, they were here before Adam and Eve, and, they occupied the earth, right? And it was all over the earth, not only in Africa, but they was in the Americas, and they was in the Far East. They was the people of existence. So they wasn't of the chosen lineage of people. So, just because you say someone is indigenous to a land doesn't mean that they are of our people. They was the people of existence. They was here way before, the chosen lineage, right? So all indigenous people aren't the same, and damn sure not the chosen people, right? But that's the reason why it says this here. So, a lot of people like to throw that word around, humans this, humans that. They're mainly referring to us because we're the real human, the people of color. All right. We're not mankind, right? Which is another noun and adjective, right? You have mankind. And then when you switch that around, you have kind man. And then when you put between it, kind of like a man, right? We're the real man. We're the human, right? But mankind, kind man, kind of a man, right? So that's the reason why the other people are called mankind, right? Just to break that down a little bit. But as it says here, it gives us vision disturbances, man. And then it says this organization also cites studies that have found TBHQ to cause liver enlargement, right? Just as THQ. Okay, neurotoxic effects, convulsions, right? When you falling all over the place and you choking up and foaming out the mouth and all of that stuff, man, right? And paralysis in laboratory animals, meaning it paralyzes you, man, right? So this stuff is in your food, man, right? Is TBHQ cancerous? The safety of TBHQ has been evaluated by international food safety authorities. It is concluded that TBHQ is not carcinogenic. Yeah, okay. But it causes all of this stuff right here, but it's not carcinogenic. Okay, right. And it's safe to consume at the level, okay, at the level allowed in foods, all right? All right, so if it's only safe to consume at a certain level, then what if you go a little bit over that level? Then what, right? So, there's always a little deception thrown in there, because, the powers that shouldn't be have to make their profit off it, right? But this stuff is detrimental to your health, man, right? So this was in your foods, man. Okay? BHT and TBHQ, man, right? I think, let me see. Let me go back. I think I seen it in this right here, right? No, it's not in that right there. It's on one of these things I showed. But, anyway, you get the drift, right? So, in continuation, okay, this again, right here you have the corn checks, the rice checks. A lot of people think that this is healthy, right? You look at the front of the box here, it says gluten-free, no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial flavors, right? Then of course, you got a couple of sisters, they receiving this like through the WIC or whatever, right? So, this stuff is bad for you, man. You think that, they're supplying you with a good source of food. And then of course right here you have the corn right here, all right, which we already determined that's GMO. And then of course you have the rice, which is also GMO, because authentic rice ain't white, right? So a lot of our people think that they're eating good just because it says, oh, it's gluten-free, no high fructose corn syrup, and da-da-da-da, right? But look at the side of the box, though. Okay? Of course, just like I said before, anything that's made from corn is GMO, right? And then right here, once again, you have contains bioengineered food ingredients, right? So they want to throw gluten-free at the bottom of it, but it contains bioengineered food ingredients, man, right? It's crazy. Same thing for this right here. This is the rice checks, right? Same exact thing, man, right? GMO rice contains bioengineered food ingredients, right? Same thing. Okay, and then you have this right here, which is the crescents. A lot of our people like to use this right here. They don't like to make things from scratch, as they should, and it's very easy to do. But a lot of our people just don't want to take the time to do that, man, right? So they're ready to buy this right here. It's already made. It's stored up in the oven. Throw some butter in there, which is another detrimental food to your body. I don't even use butter, man. I substituted that with avocado oil a long time ago, right? And then some avocados, you still got to be cautious about that too, because they're making a lot of GMO avocados now, right? A lot of those things are made from GMO. Okay, and then I think it's like a certain color that you have to get it. Now, from what I understand, the darker avocados is more close to the authentic avocados that was created naturally. But when you get to like the more greener avocados, then that's when you're dealing with a GMO, right? But unfortunately, the powers that shouldn't be, man, they created mostly everything GMO, man. So it's like kind of hard to find unless you go to like a high scale supermarket, whatever, right? So, this is the crescent buns right here. A lot of our people like to use, throw it up in the oven, throw that highly saturated butter over it, you know what I'm saying, to clog their arteries, right? But look at this right here, man, in the back, What's that right there? TBHQ, baby, right? Just got through reading about that, okay? Mono and diglycerides. Pork, okay? Swine, man, all right? All up in there, right? See, a lot of our people, man, they got to do the due diligence, man. Got to know what these things are up in here, man, right? Look at that, right? Same thing, right? Just to give you a clearer view. Monodiglycerides, right? All of that up in there, man, right? Palm oil, hydrogenated palm oil, man, right? Purified over and over and over again, hydrogenated, right? And the more that is, the more it causes cancer, right? Mono and diglycerides, TBHQ, right? Fractionated palm oil. It's not even, they're not even giving you 100% palm oil, man. They're giving you this stuff mixed with other stuff, right? Soybean oil, right? That stuff is cancerous, man. Soybeans is cancerous, man, right? Anything that's made from soy is cancerous, man, right? All that stuff is bad for you, man. Even your sodas right here, your Coca-Cola. A lot of our people can't seem to shake that, right? Still drinking that Coca-Cola, man, right? Well, look at this right here. High fructose corn syrup, man. GMO corn syrup, And we read about what high fructose corn syrup does to you, right? A lot of our people can't shake that, man. Same thing for the cherry Coca-Cola, right? Although it says cherry right here, but when you go to the back, where's the cherry? Right? Where's the cherry? Where's the cherry ingredient to this right here, man? Right? All it says is carbonated water, okay? High fructose corn syrup, all right? Look at this right here. Natural flavors, right? Natural flavors of what, right? If it really had cherry in it, how come you just didn't put cherry? Why do you got to put natural flavors? Natural flavors of what, man? And caffeine, okay, that hardens your arteries, okay? So all of this stuff is bad for you, man. But a lot of our people are still drinking this stuff, man, right? Let me move this up here. Look at this right here. This is the good old Sunny D, right? A lot of our people are still drinking this, giving it to their kids in the morning, right? In the faith or out of the faith. You know, mostly out of the faith because, you know, a lot of people know about this stuff right here. They know this is not real orange juice, man, right? Look at this right here, right? Seedless, okay? So since when they started showing oranges without seeds, man, right? So that's letting you know that it's made from a GMO orange, man, right? But when you go to the ingredients, look at this right here. High fructose corn syrup, the very first thing, man. And 2% or less, right? So more than likely it's less than 2%, right? Concentrated orange juice, right? Tangerine juice. All of this is GMO. GMO apple, GMO lime, GM grapefruit. And then we all know that grapefruit is a hybrid fruit, man. That's not even an authentic fruit, okay? I think it's like it's an orange mixed with like a lime or something, or a pomelo fruit, right? The pomelo fruit is the authentic fruit. It's a citrus fruit, okay, which is closely related to the lime and the lemon, right? So that's why most people are aware that the grapefruit is like it's a hybrid of a orange and a lime, which is also known as a pomelo fruit, right? So all of this right here, man, and you can do the research on that too, right? As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that up real quick, right? It's pomelo, right? Okay, came right up. Through the spirit of the Most High, right? All thanks and praise due to that. Right, so look at it, man. This is a pomelo fruit, okay? And then as you can see here on the top, it has grapefruit. So it's letting you know there that that's where the hybrid came from. If you look at the pomelo, or pomelo, you know, it looks like a lime, right? Looks like a lime there, see? That's the authentic fruit where the so-called grapefruit and the orange was mingled, right? And then, of course, according to the scripture, you know, we're not supposed to sow our field with mingled seed. Okay, we're not even supposed to be eating mingled seed, man. So all of this stuff right here is non-kosher. We're not supposed to be eating pomegranates because it's a mingled fruit, man. Right? That's the reason why pomegranates is bad for you. Okay? But this is the authentic grapefruit. Slakia. You know, grapefruit is bad for you. Not the palmetto, right? So it says right here, are grapefruit and pomelo the same, right? Pomelos have more potassium, but have much less vitamin A. Then it says, note, grapefruit has been known to react with a number of common prescription drugs. if you are taking any medications, check with your doctor before consuming significant amounts of grapefruit. So it's always also letting you know here, that the grapefruit is not good for consumption, man, right? You're supposed to be able to take all juices with medicines, right? Let alone water. Okay, and then it says right here, the pomelo, Citrus maxima, is the largest citrus fruit from the family Rutaceae and the principal ancestor of the grapefruit. It is a natural non-hybrid citrus fruit native to Southeast Asia, right? So it's a non-hybrid fruit, meaning that it's not GMO. So, and where can you find a pomelo in your local supermarket? You can't. Because the powers that shouldn't be, man, they have that all sold up, man. You can't even find these things, man, right? But these are the fruits that's beneficial to you, right? But then when you search up the grapefruit, right? Let me see something here. Oh, wow, look at this right here. It says grapefruit is a hybrid. That came right up, right? Now look at this right here, man. Grapefruit is a citrus hybrid originating from Barbados or in Barbados. And then it says here, in an accidental, so to speak, right, cross between the sweet orange and the pomelo or shaddock, right, both of which were introduced from Asia in the 17th century, right? So it's actually saying it was introduced in Asia, right? So how can they say it came from Barbados and it's introduced in Asia, right? That's confusion there. You can't come from two places, right? So that's crazy. So this is where the so-called grapefruit came from, right? Which citrus fruit is a hybrid, right? And then it says right here, oranges are the result of an ancient hybridization, possibly a blend of pomelo and mandarin. Okay, so that's what the oranges is, man, right? While the lemon has been genetically linked to the sour orange and citron, the grapefruit is more recent hybrid of pomelo and sweet oranges, right? So you have an already hybrid fruit, which is the orange, okay? And then you have the grapefruit, which is a hybrid too. And it's made from the pomelo and an already hybrid fruit, which is the sweet orange, right? So that's two hybrids, man. That's three genealogies of fruit in one, man, right? That dates to the 19th century. Okay, and this was written just last month, September the 23rd, 2022. Right? So this is what we're consuming, man. That grapefruit is bad for you. Okay, it's a hybrid, man. Okay. So all of this stuff right here, they have, let me type in something real quick too. It came right up. Why is grapefruit dangerous, right? And then it says right here, many drugs are broken down with the help of a vital enzyme called, as you can see here, in the small intestine. Then it says right here, grapefruit can block the action of intestinal. So instead of being metabolized, more of the drug enters into the bloodstream and stay in the body longer, right? Then of course it says low blood pressure. It lowers your blood pressure, right? And it says taken for high blood pressure can interact with grapefruit to cause very low blood pressure, hallucinations, right? You're going to be seeing things, okay? And seizures can result from combining, this right here, the word, a cough suppressant with grapefruit. Then it says dextromethorphan, all right? Just to take a crack at that word, hopefully that I pronounced it right. And then it says, what are the dangers of eating grapefruit? Right? Okay, so this is basically the same thing here. Grapefruit interferes with proteins in the small intestine and liver that normally breaks down many medications. Eating grapefruit or drinking grapefruit juice while taking these medications can lead to higher levels. All right, so that's basically the same thing, right? So, just to let you know how grapefruit is bad for you, man. But what's the reason why I brung that out again? As you can see here, Salakia, it's in your Sunny D, man, right? Concentrated grapefruit juice along with other GMO fruits, man, right? And then, of course, right here, there's that word again, sodium hexametaphosphate, right? And then you have yellow 5, yellow 6. Okay, all of this stuff right here, man, is in your Sunny D, right? And then remember, this is supposed to be an orange juice, right? But what it says right here, less than 2% of this right here, man. So if you looking at this bottle right here, right? Less than 2% of these juices are in this right here. So if you want to do the calculation just by eyeing it, right, the 2% is going to be like right around here, right where the starting of that sticker is, man, right? That's going to be the 2%, and the rest is other stuff, man, right? And then on top of that, they don't even say orange juice. It says orange punch, right? Yo, it don't even say orange juice, man. It says orange punch, man. What is that, right? Orange punch, man. Yo, so this is what our people are drinking, man, right? Sunny D. Yo, I can't even remember the last time I picked this up, man, or even looked in the direction of this right here, man, right? But unfortunately, a lot of our people love this stuff, man. They love it blindly, right? And ignorantly, okay? But just as I always said, when you're ignorant, it doesn't mean that you're stupid or dumb. You know what I'm saying? It just means that, you're unaware of something. You don't have the knowledge of certain things. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes you ignorant. Ignorance can be fixed, with education and research and due diligence, man. You know what I'm saying? So, just because someone calls you ignorant doesn't mean that you're stupid or dumb. When you're stupid, that means that you actually know about this stuff right here that I'm showing you, and then you still have the audacity to drink it, right? That's stupidity. When you're dumb, that means that you just can't express yourself. You can't talk. You're nonverbal, right? That's what being dumb is, right? Or you could play dumb. If, someone comes around that you don't like, or that you're not too fond with, that you don't get along with, or, if someone asks you a question that they've already asked you many, many times over before, you play dumb, meaning that you don't talk, you don't react, right? But when you're actually dumb, it just means that you really can't act. You know what I'm saying? You have like a verbal disability. Right, so a lot of our people also like to misuse those 3 words, which is dumb, ignorant, and stupid, right? But yeah, man, Sunny D messed up for you, man, right? Look at this right here. Beef sausage, right? A lot of people like this right here. They treat this like the so-called turkey bacon. Oh, this ain't bacon. This ain't pork bacon. This is turkey bacon right here, right? But that so-called turkey bacon is the same exact thing, man. It's actually worse than the original swine, man. Now, if you want to look at it at a biblical standpoint, which is a kosher, or, as they say in Islam, halal standpoint, then, this stuff right here is still bad for you. Even though it says beef on it, it's still detrimental to your health, man, right? So, a lot of people will treat this like it says, it's beef, it's not pork, it's so-called turkey bacon when it's mechanically made and mixed with different meats and pork juice, right? But this right here, what it says here, monosodium glutamate, man, right? And then, of course, you have corn syrup, GMO corn syrup, right? And then you have monosodium glutamate, man. And then what? Contains soy, man, right? Poisonous GMO soy, right? So this stuff is bad for you, man. right? So yeah, you look at it and see that it says beef, but if you haven't done your due diligence, man, you'll come to find that this stuff is bad for you, man, right? Just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, although I've already covered MSG in my last dietary law videos, right? But we're going to get into that again, right? The dangers of GMO salt, which is modium sodium glutamate, right? So as it says here, monosodium glutamate is a flavor enhancer author added to restaurant foods. So this, like I was saying before early in the video, with some of these restaurants, and the reason why you shouldn't go out to eat is because they just make the food good for you. They don't care about your health. They don't care about your physical condition, right? They just there to make the food good, to keep you coming back, right? They don't care if you have high blood pressure. They don't care if you on the brink of dying from cancer. You know what I'm saying? They just care about just making the food good and getting you addicted to it, right? Salakia just came into my car. So that's what it is, man. It says it's a flavor enhancer often used, added to restaurant foods, canned vegetables, okay, and which I stopped eating a long time ago, soups, deli meats, and other foods, right? And then you will also come to find, if you do your due diligence on that, that not only should you stop eating canned goods because of the monosodium glutamate, but because of other things too, which is BHT, BPA, right? There's a lot of things to research, man, right? And then it says here, is MSG healthier than sodium, right? Now, mind you, this is sodium, not salt. This is not idolized salt, okay? And I've also done a video concerning that too, you know, that salt is actually good for you, but we're told in this society that salt is bad for you. Actually, it's the black pepper that's detrimental to your health, not the idolized salt. Now, if you want to have the salt without the idolization in it, then, then basically, you're eating a cheap salt, which is sodium, right? Or idolized salt, as I should say. So it says here, MSG has 2/3 less sodium than table salt and imparts umami, a savory taste. Taste is a key factor in what people decide to eat. So there you have it, right? That's all some people care about, right? Using MSG as a replacement from some salt in the diet and to increase appeal of nutritious foods can make healthy eating easier. Okay, so as it says here, you can't let this trip you up, as it has healthy eating, right? But it's not saying that the food that you're eating is healthy. It just says that it helps you make a healthier choice in eating healthy foods because it brings taste to it. So, as the saying goes, everything that's healthy, it really doesn't taste good, even though it's good for you, but it doesn't taste good. But when you add MSG to it, it helps it taste good. But actually, when you add MSG to that, it makes it detrimental to your health because MSG is bad for you, right? Then it says in continuation, likely leading to a positive impact on health. Okay, meaning like if you're going to intake a lot of healthy eating foods and you have that MSG, it's going to help you eat those healthier foods more often. But it doesn't mean that it actually going to make the food healthier, right? And then it says here, what does MSG do to your brain? MSG produces a savory but salty taste when added to food, which excites your taste buds and stimulate the release of your brain chemicals called neurotransmitters. According to the book of Human Biochemistry, the pleasant taste of MSG and the release of neurotransmitters are thought to be the basis for mild levels of such and such, right? And then it says right here, is MSG toxic to humans? So, of course, they have their more deception going on. It says the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which is the FDA, in which I said it's not even credible to me anymore, because they had the guys that was running the place, the two guys that was like the, I guess, I can't really say the CEOs, but they was the chairman for the FDA, the ones who actually really cared about people's health. They was asked to stand down because, of course, the powers that shouldn't be, they had other things in plan, right? But now, of course, it says that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which is the FDA, has classified MSG as a food ingredient that is generally recognized as safe, right? So all of this right here, man, it's a lot of deception going on, right? So let's see what the side effects are. All right, so as it has here, lack of feeling, which is numbness, tingling, or burning in the face. That's stroke right there, man. That is stroke, right? I mean, if that ain't stroke, I don't know what stroke is, right? Neck and other areas, quick fluttering heartbeats, right? Chest pain, feeling sick, right? All of this right here, man. And this is from the Mayo Clinic. So, that's what that does, man, right? Look at this right here. However, certain individuals who have sensitivity to MSG may experience, and I think all people have sensitivity to MSG, man, right? May experience side effects like hives, swelling of the throat, headache, and fatigue, man, right? Right, and then you have like, let me see, what does MSG does to your stomach? And then it says, an excessive consumption of MSG can cause a what? A Chinese restaurant syndrome, man, right? And then, of course, if you from the so-called neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of so-called Chinese restaurants there. Personally, I think those people are really from like South Korea and Cambodia and Taiwan. But, of course, the slander of China is going to go on because the United States don't have no true dealings with China, man, right? If you have like a deeper understanding of this thing, man, it's like, if you really think about it, how can this place have a lot of business commerce with China, but you on the brink of war with China? You talking about nuclear warfare and Cold War tactics concerning China, but you have all of these business dealings with China. You know so much about China. You know what's going on over there. You claim that the so-called Wuhan 400 came from over there, even though Wuhan is a real place in China. But how do we know it really haven't been developed in Japan, right? How do we know if it haven't been developed in Cambodia, South Korea, all of the places where the United States actually have dealings with? You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why, it is said that China is thinking about attacking Taiwan. You know what I'm saying? Because the United States have dealings with Taiwan, right? They can actually send spies from the United States through Taiwan to try to infiltrate what's going on in China, man. That's why, it is said that China is thinking about attacking Taiwan. Okay? So how can we be sure that all of these places that we have over here, the so-called Chinatown, the so-called Chinese restaurants, how do we know if those people are really Chinese, man? Right? Just like I said, it could be Vietnamese, it could be Cambodian, it could be Taiwanese, South Korean, right? A majority of them look the same. They could be even Japanese, right? The United States have dealings with Japanese. They have a U.S. embassy over there in Japan, man, because they conquered Japan during the 1940s. Okay? So all of this stuff can be created in all of those other areas instead of China. But, there's a slander that's going on with China, right? So just to get my little 2 cents on that. But, this is what it says, man. It causes a All right, so we're going to call this a Japanese restaurant syndrome, right? And gastric and duodenal ulcers, right? All of this stuff causes ulcers in your stomach, man. That's the reason why you be feeling so nauseous all the time after eating Chinese food or MSG, so to speak, right? Because they load that stuff up with MSG, man. If you paying attention to when they're cooking their food, they throw that MSG in there real quick, man, right? And they don't even wash their chicken wings off, man, right? You know, they follow the philosophy of what's going on in this society, how they say how you shouldn't wash your meats off because it supposedly spread E. coli. And that's a damn lie straight out of the pits of hell, man. You're supposed to wash everything that you're going to consume, man, right? And then if not, you still want to have that so-called blood in there, right? Which is really not blood. It's like I think they call it myoglobin or something like that. You know, it's like artificial blood, right? It's made with I think what's that chemical? It's a chemical that gives it like a warm feeling. You know, it sort of feels like it's blood, radiation, right? I think there's a little bit of radiation that's put in that fluid, that chemical that they create, and then they throw the dyes in there, of course, from the red 40, which is the cochineal bug, and they make it feel like it's blood, but it's really not authentic blood, man, right? So if you don't wash your meats off, man, whether it's your poultry or your beef or whatever, or your fish, then you're going to have that stuff in there. And then on top of that, you're actually going to have bacteria on there because your meats ain't clean, man. So if that is being pushed in this society, that philosophy, then what makes you think that the meat that you buy from your restaurants that you go out to eat at, what makes you think that they're washing your meat in there, man, in the back? Especially if you have, you know, a cook that's from the other nation, man, that's not conscious of that, right? So there's a lot of things to think about, man. So there's reasons why I don't eat out no more, right? Personally, okay? So it says this right here: an excessive consumption of MSG can cause a Cambodian restaurant syndrome, right? Gastric and duodenal ulcers. Therefore, the maximum dose of MSG should be reconsidered, taken into an account its influence on the secretory capacity of the stomach, right? So that's your MSG, man. You know, that stuff is detrimental to you, right? So a lot of people really got to do their due diligence on monosodium glutamate, man. This is because it makes your food taste good, or it makes your favorite restaurant food taste good. It doesn't mean that that stuff is good for you, man, right? And not only is it in those so-called Japanese restaurants, but it's in the McDonald's, it's in the Burger King, it's in the Wendy's, right? It's in the Chick-fil-A, right? It's in the Popeyes, okay? The Church's Chicken, right? That stuff is in there, man, okay? So as it says right here, monosodium glutamate, man, right? And natural flavor. Now that's also another code word for pork, okay, if you do your due diligence on that. So a lot of people have to do their research on that too, man. So this stuff right here is not only beef, man, as it's displayed on the sticker here, man.